Good morning, boys and girls. Good morning, boys and wonderful girls and boys. Yes, let's kick off from where we stopped in our last class. In our last class, we looked at the introductory part of algebra, right? And I told us that algebra means what? From what I said in our last class, who can remind me what I said that algebra is? I said that algebra has to do with, who can remind me? Yes? Do you have any idea or you forgotten? You did not forgotten, Abi? Tell me what algebra is. I'm listening. Okay. Fantabulous! That was very beautiful of you. So now that I am sure and I'm confident that you really understood the introductory part of algebra, I can move to the other side of the divide that we would get some important information that would help us to solve more questions moving ahead in what? Algebra. Because as a matter of fact, we're not done with algebra. We're not. But we just want to talk about something that will help us in our subsequent classes. And that is what? Directed numbers. Everybody listening to the sound of my voice this morning did what we call number line. Yeah, we all did what we call number line in our lower primary classes. Okay? Number line where you have something like a line. Then you have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you have -1, -2, -3, -4. Alright, so basically, directed numbers has to do with what? Number line. Alright, so when we say directed numbers, what do we mean? Now, directed numbers are numbers that have a direction. You know, direction can mean two ways. It's either you are moving forward or you are moving backward. Okay, so if I'm moving forward now, my direction is this way. But if I'm moving backward, my direction is this way. So we said directed numbers are numbers that have what? A direction. Now, as far as mathematics is concerned, the direction could be positive or negative. Okay, big grammar. The direction could be plus or minus. Alright? Is it that every number on the surface of the earth has a direction? If it does not have a negative direction, it would have what? A positive direction moving forward. What did I say? Every number has what? A direction. Either it has a positive direction or a negative what? Direction. Now down here we have the rules of directed numbers, but we're not going to go into details into that, but make sure you write it in your book. But I'm just going to go straight to the point to tell you what you need to know. Okay, so these are some important information for us to remember. Now if we look at this number line now, we know that the plus is on the right hand side, the minus or the negative is on what? The left hand side. Now this plus, you would agree with me, is the what? The positive. And this minus is what? The negative. Right? Positive is plus, minus is what? Negative. So moving forward, the positive is this on the right hand side and the minus is what? On the left hand side, like I told us. So now we say that on a number line, a number to the right is always greater than a number to the left. See, take note of this important point. A number to the right is always greater than a number to the left. What that simply means is that plus all these numbers here are greater than all these numbers here. Even when we come to the negative sign, the -1 is greater than -2 because it's on the right hand side. The -2 is greater than -3 because -2 is on the right hand side of -3. Okay? The -4 is greater than -5 because it's on the right hand side of what? -5. It also means that even when you come to the positive side, +5 is greater than +4. +4 is greater than +3. +3 is greater than +2 because they are on the right hand side of each other. Alright, so that is for that. Now we say that the positive and negative numbers including 0 are called integers. All these numbers, whether it has plus, minus or whatever, it's called what? Integers. Okay, so it's very important we take cognizance of that. It's called what? Integers. Alright, so that's just by the way. Now, based on the fact that school has resumed, okay, I'll talk about that later, alright? So, now let's look at an example. For example of this, 1 is on the right of 5, minus 5. That's this one is on the right hand side of minus 5. That means 1 is greater than minus 5. Okay? Now, this is what I want us to pay serious attention to. A lot of students or a lot of pupils who actually find algebra difficult is because of this. Yes, that confusion they usually have is what I want to straighten today. Now, in case you don't understand this video listening to it, I'm going to try my possible best to simplify it. But in case you don't understand it at the first watch it again. Alright? Now, children that are actually, not children, pupils or students who actually find algebra difficult down to their secondary school based on my own research and observation is because they don't have a good understanding of this. Most of them are always confused. It affected me too, but I know this is where children normally have challenges. Now, if once a child knows that plus times plus will give you plus, minus times minus will give you what? Plus. Minus times plus will give you minus. Plus times minus will give you minus. In fact, once you know that, you are good to go. In fact, I would even give you an assignment on your own. Go and learn this. Learn it. Okay? Now, the point I want to make now is that in as much as we know that minus times minus is plus, do you know that minus times minus is different from minus minus? This is where you need to pay serious attention. Do you know that minus times minus is different from minus minus? Yes. Minus times minus is different from what? Minus minus. Yes. Do you know? I know you are wondering how, but I'm going to tell you. If you look at this minus minus now, there is no multiplication or division sign. It's just minus minus. Okay? So what that simply means is that the answer that I'm going to get from doing minus 2 times 2, minus 2 times minus 4. The answer I'm going to get from here is going to be different from the answer I'm going to get from minus 2 minus 4. This is what I want us to differentiate today. And that reminds me, please, anytime a bracket is before a number, it means times. If, for example, now if I have minus 2 and then I have in bracket 3, this bracket here means times. If there is no bracket, it's just normal minus 2 minus 3. But if there is bracket, it means times. It means minus 2 times minus 3. So anytime a bracket comes before a number, it means times. Okay? In algebra or in directed numbers. So what do I mean by minus 2 times minus 4? It's quite different from minus 2 minus 4. Yes. But now, because of this minus here, because of this times here, we know that minus times minus, of course, is what? Plus, right? 2 times 4 is what? 8. It's straightforward. But do you know that minus 2 minus 4 is actually minus 6? In this case now, you're not multiplying, you're not dividing. Now, one thing I also want you to understand is this. If you are dealing with directed numbers that does not have brackets or times, if you are dealing with directed numbers that does not have brackets or times, one thing I want you to remember is that anytime you see the negative sign, it is not your own. Say to yourself, the negative sign is not my own. Good. Now say to yourself, the positive sign is my own. Now what do I mean by the negative sign? Any number that has a minus does not belong to you. But any number that has a plus belongs to you. Any number that has a minus does not belong to you. Any number that has a plus belongs to you if there is no times in it. Am I communicating? Once there is no times in that number, once there is no if there is minus, the number is not your own. But if there is plus, the number is your own. What do I mean? Now, minus 2 minus 4 simply means you are owing your mommy 2 and you are owing your daddy 4. What do I mean by owing your daddy? Let's say, for example, now you borrowed 2 naira from your mommy and then you borrowed 4 naira from your daddy. So you know that those money you borrowed, I didn't say the dash you. Dash and borrow are 2 different things. If they dash you, it means just take, you know. But if you say, mommy, can you borrow me 2 naira? I will give you back. Once you borrow it and you're going to pay back, it's a minus. So now, minus 2 minus 4 now simply means I'm owing my daddy 2 and I'm owing my mommy 4. If I add the amount I am owing them, the total amount I am owing them is what? Minus 6. That was how we got it. This is the principle of understanding directed numbers. I needed to differentiate this because some children, when they see minus, now in as much as I know you're already confused, but just stay with me, pay attention. In as much as they don't know the principle behind it. Minus, I said that if there is no times, if there is times, just follow this principle. Of course, sometimes, but another thing I want you to know is that if there is no sign in front of a number, it's always a plus. For example, now 2 times 4 means it's the same thing as plus 2 times plus 4. Don't forget that. Yes. That I know somebody is saying that. So that means all this our times table. 2 times 1 2 actually means plus 2 times 1 plus 2 times 2. Yes. Now you are getting the concept. Stay with me. Don't get anywhere. You get anywhere on your own. Alright. So now that I've been able to establish that, so if now apart from learning this, when you learn plus times plus, minus times minus, blah blah blah, and then you now have a situation whereby you don't have any multiplication or division sign. I said that in that case, when there is no times, there is no division. Of course, we are still going to look at the division aspect though. Yes, there is still the division aspect. Yes, we are still going to look at the division aspect. Or maybe I will even write it. I will write the division aspect. So don't write this note here. I will write the division aspect. Okay. So but it's the same thing. All right. So let's solve now. This is the side I want you to pay attention to. Now, number 1, we have plus 12 minus plus 8. Plus 8. Now, plus 12 minus plus 8. I told us that if a bracket is there, the bracket means what? Times. Okay? So now I need that. Now, minus, this minus times this plus. According to our sign, minus times plus is minus. So this minus times this plus will give you minus what? 8. Are you with me? So now, plus 12 minus 8 simply means 12 minus 8. So plus 12 minus 8 now means what? Plus 4 or 4. Your answer. Simple. That's your answer. That's for number 1. Now number 2, we have 12 minus 9. Of course, I always tell us that this 12 has an invincible plus, okay? But before in case you don't understand this, learn this. Plus times plus, minus times minus. Now, and I said before that if there's a bracket, it means times, okay? So now, minus times minus, you have 12. Minus times minus is what? Plus 9. Are you with me? So now, 12 plus 9 will be giving us what? 21. Is it 21? Is it 21? Are you sure? Alright, let us check. 12 plus 9. 9 plus 2 is 11. Right one, carry one. It's 21 now. Why are you looking at me like maybe you are not sure? Alright, or you think maybe I want to confuse you. Alright. You have to pay attention to details. So, number 3. Minus 5 plus 3. Now, if we look here now, what we are going to notice is that there is no times. So, and in this particular case, I always say that the minus is not your own, for the plus is your own. Have that understanding. So, minus 5 plus 3 simply means I'm owing my mommy 5 and I have 3. So, if I give my mommy 3, how many do I have left to give her? Do you understand what I'm saying? Minus 5 plus 3. I always tell that if you have things like this, the minus is not your own. See the minus as the one you borrowed from somebody. It could be anybody. Your brother, your friend, your mommy, your daddy. Always see it as the one you borrowed. Okay? So minus 5 plus 3 now simply means I'm owing somebody 5, but I have 3. It's just like when you borrow somebody 100 naira. And you tell the person, I will give it back. Maybe you don't have the 100 naira, but you give the person 15 naira. You know you still have 15 naira to give the person. Yes. So now minus 5 plus 3 simply means what? Minus 2. That is the answer. Because if we are to do it on a number line, this is what we're going to have. This is what we're going to have. Let's say on a number line now we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. Then we have minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5. So now, this is plus 1. I hope we all know that. But I have 3. Alright? Why I always advise students to follow this number line is that what if they not give you a big number? That means by the time you finish doing it, you'll be confused. So now, plus 1 will cancel plus 1. Plus 2 will cancel plus 2. I'm talking about minus 5 plus 3. Plus 3 will cancel minus 3. So how many do I have left? 2. Minus 2. How do I got the answer? But it's best to understand it this way. Because what this simply means now is that, okay, you know what, just take away 3 and then the remaining 1, put your minus. So let's go to number 4. Number 4 says plus 6 minus 13. Plus 6 minus 13. And another way again I want to teach you is that if you are solving this thing and the bigger number has a minus, if the bigger number has a minus, your answer must always have a minus. If the bigger number has a minus, your answer must always have what? A minus. For example, in 5 and 3, 5 is the bigger number and 5 had the minus. When we did it, we got minus 2. Am I communicating? When we did it, we got what? Minus 2. So the same thing now is applicable in this case. The bigger number here, 13 and 6, it has minus. Alright? There is minus in front. So that means any answer I'm going to get here now is going to be what? Minus. Minus. It's going to be minus. Do you understand? So now, plus 6 minus 13 simply means that I'm owing somebody 13. Whether it's in the front or back, it does not matter. Anywhere you see, just know that 13, I'm owing somebody 13. But I have 6. And when I give the person the 6 from the 13, what do I have left? So, I have... Tell me. Very good. 7. Abi? It's 7. When you give the person 6, how much do you have left to give the person? 7 minus 7. See the difference? So there's no times here. Issues like this appear in algebra. That's why I'm trying to differentiate between the times and the minus. There are two different things, so you need to pay attention. Now, number 5, we have plus 70 plus minus 30. Okay? Plus 70 plus minus 30. There's a bracket, so you have to open the bracket first. Now, this is going to be plus 70 plus times minus is what? Minus 30. It's minus 30 now. It's minus 30. So what is the meaning that? Now, in this case now, the plus, the number, the bigger number here now has a plus. That means my answer is going to be what? Plus. You understand? The sign that the bigger number has, in terms of directed numbers here, the sign that the bigger number has always determines the sign that will be in your answer. If the bigger number has a plus, your answer will be plus. Your answer must have plus, or just like that. If the bigger number has a minus, the answer you get is going to be a minus. So 70 minus 30 now, my answer is what? 40 or plus 40. This is your answer. Are you with me? Now number 6, we have minus 2 minus plus 18. Minus 2 minus plus 18. So what this literally means, that there's a bracket, so we have to open the bracket. We have minus 2. Minus times plus is minus 18. Now you have minus 2 minus 18. It's not very simple now. Minus 2 minus 18. You are owing somebody 2, you are owing another person 18. When you add the amount you are owing, you are going to have what? Minus 20. This is your answer. Am I communicating? So now, minus 5 minus 10. It's pretty straightforward. I'm owing somebody 5 and I'm owing another person 10. When I add the amount I'm owing to both of them, I'm going to have what? Minus 15. Yes. Number 8. Now, minus 4 plus 7 means what? I'm owing somebody 4 and I have what? 7. When I pay, and in this case now, the bigger number has the plus sign, so that means it's going to be a plus in the answer. So that's what? Plus 3. When I pay the person back from the 7, how many do I have left? Plus 3. So that is just it. But mind you, let's see some more example. If I now have, for example, now I have minus 4 times plus 5. Now, minus 4 times plus 5. Now, first of all, minus times plus is what? Minus. Now, 4 times 5 is 20. So you see, I'm mixing these two things now. Now, I am introducing, this thing now is quite different from when you have number 10. When you have minus 4 plus 5, the answer is what? Plus 1. Or 1. Do you understand? In this case now, I'm not multiplying. I'm just doing normal addition and subtraction with serious attention to the fact that there's a minus and there's a plus. Alright? So that is how you do this particular one now. So if you are able to study this thing now and understand it, any other thing we are doing in algebra, I can guarantee you that you will never find it difficult. Moving forward, once you are able to go through this thing, and if you have any questions, you can still ask. See, I'm trying to differentiate it. Let's look at another example. Practice makes better, okay? By practicing it, you understand it. Go through all of them now, and then. So, we have, let's see another example that we can come up with. If we have minus 7 times minus 5. Alright? Now, minus times minus is plus. 7 times 5 is 35. You see the difference? Now, number 12. Minus 7 minus 5. I'm owing somebody 7. I'm owing another person 5. When I add the total amount I am owing them, I'm going to be having what? Minus 12. See? Straightforward. See? So, Now we're going to be moving on to other aspects of algebra. Alright? But before we move over to those other aspects of algebra, I'm also going to write the division aspect of it. Alright? So, and I'm also going to explain that, but I want you all to write it down and have a good knowledge of it. But if you have any question, just write in the comment section or put it in our WhatsApp platform, and then we can keep learning. I'll be waiting to take your questions on this, because this is where, once you see, I can guarantee you that this is just the foundation of algebra. We are going to do a lot of these things when we start algebra. When we start the major ones like expansion of brackets, collection of like terms, we are going to see a lot of this. So then you need to practice this and understand. That's why I said let me take my time and explain it, because if you understand it, it becomes extremely easy. Okay? So until I come away in our next class, keep learning and stay safe. So quickly write this down.